Good day, everyone. It is nice over here for you and I because learning never ends and education is the key to an impactful life. My name is Anthony Nathaniel. Good day, everyone. In the fourth episode of another episode for SS1, we are going to be dealing with the history of computers. Now, computers have a recent history in terms of in comparison with other things we study in history, because the history of computers doesn't date too back into time, because computers are very recent things that happened to mankind. But we still have to talk about the history, even though it's not long, because it helps us to know where we are coming from and also help us to be able to know where exactly we are going. That is the future of computer. You probably heard of artificial intelligence. That is the future of computers today, because they are the things that they represent the peak of computer progress. Now, basically, the history of computers, we have five generations of computers, and the first generation is the one we are going to be starting with. The first generation of computers, they use vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory, and they were often enormous, taking up entire rooms. And they made use of magnetic drum, which is a metal cylinder coated with magnetic iron oxide material on which data and programs were stored. So magnetic drums were once used as primary storage device, but have since been implemented as an auxiliary storage device. So these devices they still exist today, like the Univac. You can see how big they were. This is how big they were. You can see a man operating them. This is they are used to span up to a whole room, just like a hall. They were as big as a house. They were very big, produced a lot of heat. They were very slow, and they consumed a lot of electricity. So they were in operation during the 1946, 1940, and 1956. That's the time during which they were in operation. And examples of this were Univac and ENIAC. Now let's talk about the second generation of computers. This second generation of computers, they were quite more advanced than the first generation, because they now make use of transistors. You can see how it was they were now compact. So you can see this whole setup doesn't exceed a desk. So they could be fitted on a desk like this, and then they were also using transistors, which is a device that amplifies a signal or opens and closes a circuit. So we'll be talking about transistors later in another episode of this video, but today we just want to deal with the overview of how second generation computers works. So the transistors, it was invented in 1947 at Bell Labs, and they are the key ingredients of all digital circuits till today. So if you are interested in the electronic workings of transistors, I'll do a video on that. But these second generation computers were in operation between 1956 and 1963, and they made use of assembly language. So basically, this was a very big improvement, because it eased the stress on computer programmers to move from cryptic machine language to symbolic binary or assembly language. Now let's talk about the third generation of computers. Now this third generation of computers were like the let's say were the progenitors of our present day computers, because look how compact they were. They are very similar to our today's definition of a monitor and a keyboard. So this is how they look like. But the thing is, they had very big hands. You can see how big it is behind it. So because they were very big, and they were made up of cathode ray tubes. So the development of this third generation of computers, it was between 1964 and 1971, and this was the moment of the integrated circuits. So these are integrated circuits. They were inside these computers. They helped them to integrate all the components of these computers. There are circuits that perform the processing. Now this, instead of punch card and printout, you can see they use keyboard. This is a keyboard here. They also use monitors. Now, basically, this third generation of computers, they became accessible to a mass audience because they were smaller and cheaper. They produced less heat, and they were more reliable and faster. Now, let's talk about the fourth generation of computers. The fourth generation of computers, they shouldn't be too difficult for you to grasp. You can see this is a processor, and this is also a desktop. Now, this fourth generation of computers, they are still the ones we use today. They are in operation. They have been in operation since early 1970s till today, precisely 1971 till present, and they involved microprocessors. This is a microprocessor. It's called an Intel Core 2 core. Now, today we have more advanced processors. We have Core 7, we have Core 5, unlike in the previous generation of computers when they had um, the processors that were not as fast as this. We also have even more ones that are more advanced than these kind of processors. But this fourth generation of computers, they were the hallmark of our digital computers today. And the simple ingredient of this was basically the integration of all the integrated circuits on a single chip called a microprocessor. So this is the Intel 4004 4004 chip, which was developed in 1971. Was one of the first of these. So this fourth generation of computers, they are very um, significant for our personal computers today, and they are kind of like the present stage of technology. Then finally, let's talk about the fifth stage, which is the artificial intelligence. Now, there's a lot going on this fifth generation of computers. They are they are from present to beyond, because most of our people are speculating that artificial intelligence will have a lot of potential to envelop the world and control it. But actually, if we look at the positive aspects, artificial intelligence has a lot of potential, because now, even in engineering and scientific applications, we have many of our works have been automated. They can basically perform mathematical operations, and made us they've made us perform very good projects and activities in calculations, like when you are calculating things that human cannot be able to handle. And that is why we've moved a lot in various fields like mathematics, like engineering, and so on and so forth. There have been a lot of development because of artificial intelligence, and even your Siri and your Cortana and all the rest of all those voice voice machines in Mac and Windows operating system. They are all artificial intelligence. Even in Android, well, if you use Android, the Google Assistant is also an example of an artificial intelligence software. So this artificial intelligence, we all use it. It's all integrated into our lives, but we just don't know. Most of us, we just don't know it. But this fifth generation of computers, they were the basic embodiment of artificial intelligence. So basically, today, in summary, we've talked about the generation of computers from the fourth generation, from the first to the fifth. The first was characterized by vacuum tubes and magnetic drums. The second were characterized by transistors, which were invented in 1947, and they produced less heat. The third were characterized by integrated circuits. The fourth were characterized by microprocessors, and the fifth generation, which is this, is characterized by artificial intelligence. Now, basically, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and you can also try these examples. So, in this question, mention the five generations of computers. You can always do that. You can send your answers as a comment for this video, and you can discuss your opinion of this topic. So, thank you for watching, and see you next episode.